Alrighty, yo, what is going on, everybody? It's your boy, Mr. GDG94, back with another reaction video today for the React to greatest alley-oops of all time. NBA's greatest alley-oops of all time. This should be interesting. Without further ado, let's get right into it.
Today's video is about a ranked list that I've never really seen ranked on YouTube or really anywhere on the internet for that matter. And that's why this video for me was really exciting to make. Because this is honestly one of the most exciting aspects of the game of basketball. It's the alley-oop or the lob pass. What are the 20 greatest alley-oop plays in NBA history? Today, I'll do my best to answer that based on my experience and research. Starting off at number 20. Kyle Anderson's lob to Ja Morant over the Boston Celtics. By the end of his career, Morant might have the most jaw-dropping basketball compilation highlight video of any player ever. This guy is truly an athletic freak, and this one was so impressive not just for how long he hung in the air, but the fact that he finished it with authority with his opposite hand. It's
I just realized you said Kyle Anderson, that's clearly Dillon Brooks.
Definitely a tremendous way to start off the list. At number 19 is one of the most explosive players in NBA history, Derrick Rose. This one was over the Detroit Pistons, and it was at the absolute peak of his greatness. A player his size shouldn't be able to get that high up in the air, and I said it once and I'll say it again. This guy was basically the Shawn Kemp of the point guard position, as he was always finishing at the rim like the rim had insulted his mother. Speaking of guys who dunk the ball like they're pissed off, number 18 is a lob pass from Kevin Durant to Russell Westbrook.
Oh, the good old days.
What made peak Russell Westbrook so great wasn't just how he dunked the basketball, but it was his showmanship and energy after the slam, and the OKC crowd always fed off of that. When you reflect and look back at the Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook days, this is one of the amazing highlights that will always come to mind. At number 17 is one of the most explosive and highlight-worthy role players in the history of the game, as J.R. Smith finished this reverse alley-oop for the New York Knicks.
That was nasty.
All you young basketball fans will eventually be the old heads of the basketball community. And I can promise you that Smith is going to be one of those guys who will be referred to as a plumber. But you'll have to remember highlights like this and show them to the younger fans to make the point that yes, even the role players were absurdly athletic. And number 16 is a very similar play, as Jason Kidd, who was one of the greatest lob passers in NBA history, threw this pass to Vince Carter, who obviously finished it off with his typical flair. This pairing was a match made in heaven, as Jason Kidd had his passing ability all the way up on the sliders, while Vince Carter is widely recognized as the greatest dunker in NBA history. If there's anything that's unfortunate about this pairing, it's that it didn't happen any earlier in Toronto, because I can only imagine then all the lob passes they would have made together. Number 15 is the original Lob City, as Gary Payton threw this lob to Shawn Kemp, who finished it with authority over the Golden State Warriors. They definitely weren't the first teammates to regularly connect with lob passes, but they did it with such frequency that people basically widely accept that these guys were the original Lob City, as Payton always had a flair and attitude to his game and was always looking to make these dazzling passes to one of the most angry dunkers in the history of the game. And for me, this one is as good as it gets when it comes to the connection between these two. Number 14. Kyrie Irving's lob pass to LeBron James off the backboard as he finished it with the left hand over the Toronto Raptors. This one is nuts, and not only does it get extra points for originality, but LeBron finishing it with the left hand is absolutely incredible. You could probably count the amount of players who could pull this off on the dunking end on one hand, as you not only have to be great with both hands, you have to be insanely athletic, be very large, be very fast, and have a great wingspan in order to pull this off. With that being said, all those attributes will ensure that this won't be the last time that LeBron's on the list. Number 13 is Jameer Nelson to Dwight Howard, who absolutely destroyed Drew Holiday of the Philadelphia 76ers. This was at the absolute height of Dwight Howard's powers for the Orlando Magic, as he was so strong, such a great leaper, and just dunked with such ferocity during this era. Unfortunately, it happened to be a small player in Drew Holiday who just happened to get in the way at the wrong time, and for this reason, he'll be remembered forever for being on the wrong end of one of the all-time great posters. Number 12, Darren Collison to Willie Cauley-Stein over the Boston Celtics. To put it simply, if you don't like this, you don't like NBA basketball. This is one of the most underrated plays in NBA history, if you ask me, because I guarantee you there's a lot of viewers watching this one who've never even seen this play. The fact that it doesn't have star power to it certainly holds it back, but when you're looking at its execution, how far back he had to reach for it, and how hard he finished it, it's certainly worthy of a very high spot on this list. Number 11, LeBron James's alley-oop finish over Jason Terry of the Boston Celtics. This one has become a deep symbol and memory of the Miami Heat's Big Three era. And this one was not only filthy, nasty, and disrespectful, but it was also a huge moment for LeBron, as he just destroyed Jason Terry, who famously gave him one of his worst memories in basketball history in the 2011 finals. So this felt like a major turning of a page. So not only is it a great highlight, but it gets extra points for its significance.
Yep.
Now on to the top 10. Starting off at number 10 is Brian Shaw to Kobe Bryant over the Philadelphia 76ers. This one was fantastic, because it was actually a rare bad pass from Brian Shaw, but despite that, Kobe was able to go get it and contort his body in such a way where he was still able to finish the slam on this and one play.
RP to the
I think a lot of people forget just how freakishly athletic Kobe Bryant was in his Froby days, but that insane athleticism was certainly on display in this play. Number 9 is another Miami LeBron finish, as he converted this alley-oop over John Lucas. This is a 6'9", 260-pound player jumping completely over a player as he completes an alley-oop finish. Guys this big and this strong are not supposed to be this quick and be able to jump this high, but this was peak LeBron James, doing what peak LeBron James does. Number 8 is Vince Carter's windmill alley-oop finish. Air Canada was absolutely insane, as he was half man, half amazing, and there are very few plays that sum that up better than this one, as he caught the pass, had his head at the rim, and finished it thunderously with a windmill like he had done it a million times before. Carter was so good at doing these kind of alley-oops while making them look so smooth and so fluid, and for this reason, this gets the 8th spot on the list. Number 7 is this Allen Iverson lob to Andre Iguodala over the Indiana Pacers. At this point, I feel like Iggy is most remembered for his contributions to the Golden State Warriors, as he was the Finals MVP in 2015. But what a lot of young basketball fans don't know is just how ridiculously athletic this guy was in Philadelphia, as he was a very quality player. If we're being honest, this pass from Allen Iverson was kind of a bad pass, as it looked like it was going to be way out of Iggy's reach. But that's when he put his insane athleticism and ability on full display, and finished it with insane power. This was certainly one of the most difficult alley-oops to convert on this list. Number 6 is once again J.R. Smith, who made this incredible 360 alley-oop. Some will say this was a 540 in actuality, but regardless, is fondly remembered as a 360 alley-oop, as he finished the play with tremendous power. If there's such a thing as getting extra points for its uniqueness, then this one certainly deserves it, as there are very few plays like this in NBA history. Number 5, Chris Paul's lob pass to DeAndre Jordan,
Damn, what's
as
number
they
1?
absolutely destroy Brandon Knight. To many people, this is viewed
What's number 1 then? If this ain't number 1, then what's number 1?
as not only a great alley-oop pass, but also as the greatest dunk in NBA history. To be honest, I have it higher on my list of dunks than I have it on my list of alley-oops. Because as an alley-oop pass, it's really pretty basic, as the distance between Chris Paul and DeAndre Jordan isn't that great. And when DeAndre caught it, he didn't really catch it at the peak of his jump. What makes this play so famous is how he finished it, as he just destroyed Brandon Knight in such a way that he'll never recover from. It's debatably the greatest poster dunk of all time, but as an alley-oop, it'll have to settle for just the 5th spot. Number 4, Chris Middleton to Giannis, who leapt over Tim Hardaway Jr. This one was very similar to that LeBron James play earlier where he leapt over John Lucas. But this one was even more impressive as Giannis jumped from further out and finished it with even more authority. This one displays just how freakish the Greek Freak actually is, as a player this big, this long, and this strong shouldn't be able to have this kind of ability. But he does, and the result was one of the most incredible athletic displays that we've ever seen on the basketball court. Number 3, Gerald Green's windmill alley-oop finish. At this point, we've all seen this play time and time again, but I don't want to ever lose fact of just how impressive it actually is. Because not only is it beautiful, not only is it fluid, and not only does he finish it with a tremendous amount of power, but there's that one camera angle where you see his head clearly above the rim, as he's basically throwing the ball down into the basket. This random play in a regular season game had no business being as incredible and jaw-dropping as it was. But in my opinion, it's definitely one of the top 3 greatest alley-oop finishes of all time. And personally, I would even hear arguments for the 2nd or 1st spot. Number 2, Vince Carter's way back alley-oop finish versus the Los Angeles Clippers. This one is absolutely iconic, as the pass would have been out of the reach of just about any other player. But Vince had the leaping ability, had the body control, and had the hands to secure this one and finish it with his famous flair. The fact that Carter made it look so casual and didn't respond in this crazy, explosive way, in a way made it even cooler. This was just Vinsanity doing what he does, and he acted like he had done it time and time again. Because in a way, he had. Number 1, Kobe Bryant to Shaquille O'Neal in Game 7 of the 2000 Western Conference Finals. This was not only...
This is not better than This is not better than the DeAndre Jordan. Nah, come on, Chief. Nah. The Giannis one I can understand. But to say that this is better than DeAndre Jordan bodying Brandon Knight, come on, dog. Come on, man. Come on, dog. Come on, man. I love Kobe. Hey, man, we miss Kobe just as much as the next person, but...
Come on now, dog. Come on, man.
Not better than that DeAndre Jordan. That DeAndre Jordan should be number 1, hands down.
Only a great alley-oop pass, as Shaq famously stated that Kobe threw the lob pass too high, but O'Neal found another level, went up and got it, and finished it thunderously. This is quite easily the most iconic alley-oop play in basketball history, and is for the context of the situation, as the Lakers absolutely had to win that game, and completed a 15-point comeback in the 4th quarter, and this was symbolically the final nail in the coffin as they defeated their rival at the time, the Portland Trail Blazers, on their way to their first of 3 straight championships. Here is my long list of honorable mentions. Are there any other alley-oops that should have made the top 20 instead?
Giannis in the finals, that should have been on here. I don't know how you don't put Giannis in the finals on here. That one from Drew Holiday. When Drew Holiday stole the ball and threw it up to... you should have threw that one on there. That's just me, though. But anyways, though, that's just going to about do it for this one. I'll see y'all in the next video. Till then, peace out.